Hello there, guys. Well, today we're gonna start our weekly webinar a bit earlier, okay? Unexpected, a last-minute thing. So hope that's not a problem. Also, it's going to be recorded, so don't worry about that. So like the platforms on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, like after this call is going to be recorded for you guys to see again. It's exciting that already 6 people are joining. As mentioned, I'm going to start talking, but please interrupt me with your questions. I like it more when I can engage with the audience. Okay, so feel free to engage whenever you want. I've uploaded this presentation. It's not like this, but I don't know why it appeared like this, but like maybe the quality of the presentation isn't that great, but yeah, I'll do my best. So today, okay, we're going to talk about, okay, academic requirements, okay, that universities ask from the students, okay, or expect from the students, and also the esports requirements, also how students can prepare, to live up to those academic requirements and competitive requirements based on, well, the degree of the study, the location they want to go to, the budget they have, how can they prepare pre-university, and also while they're at university, how they can maintain that GPA that the eSport program requires. Because what one thing is the minimum GPA that the university requires you to become a student, and another thing is the minimum GPA that the eSport program requires you to stay in the program. Usually, the eSport programs are a bit higher, okay, than traditional students, but yeah, that keeps students, focused on in class, and very engaged. So we're gonna through that, okay. So just a brief intro about us. We're Sportion, okay. We work in 12 different countries in 8 different video games with both international and domestic students. So let's go into like how to meet recruitment expectations, okay, while you're both in academics and esports while doing the process, okay. So academically, okay, students do need, okay, at least a passing grade in their home country, okay, in order to apply for university and work with us. If English is not your first language, you will need to do an English exam. Okay, there are also other options that we'll go through, which for those students that maybe don't pass their English exams, some universities do offer ESL, which is like English support. We've also done it with students, and I remember like when I was in the US studying, there was like a member of my tennis team that spent six months. He was practicing and competing with the team, but he was in intense ESL for 6 months, and then he could go into his university classes and start his elective and specifics. Okay, so there's various options and opportunities, and as I always mention, every student, okay, is unique, okay, and has different requirements, and it's all about talking with them and their families to see how we can meet them, okay. In terms of esports, okay, it's very important that students like do mentalize in that they're a student first, okay. Yes, their skill will help them finance their studies partially, sometimes full tuition, but usually it's more like partial scholarships, okay. But they have to mentalize that yes, that some programs do focus, on daily practice and competition, but you're a student first, you have to attend to class, okay. You have to have at least a passing grade, and as I just mentioned at the beginning, some ESOL programs even have a higher, GPA that you have to maintain, okay. But the great thing is that if you like struggle to maintain that GPA, but you still go to class, you still go to practice and competition, the esports program and the university do offer you tutoring and do help you excel in your studies, but you always, have to want it. Okay, if you're just not attending to class or practice, okay, they may do a warning the first semester, and then you're back home. Okay, so it's very important that international students or domestic, if you are representing a collegiate esports program, that you basically take both your academics and practice and competitive schedule, like very serious. Of course, there's time to socialize and have fun, but yeah, you have a schedule, and they're giving you a scholarship, so they expect you, to like have a good attitude and behavior, and have a passing grade, attend to class, and compete. Okay, guys, up to here. Any questions? Okay, let's proceed then. So there are some recruits, okay, that we heard of that, as I mentioned, like think this is just esports, okay, and don't take class very seriously. Every student that we work with, we do make sure that they understand this, okay, and our recruits, like know they're there for university, and esports is just like a tool to finance their study, or like to be engaged more in their college experience and have fun. Okay, student first, then player, student athlete. Okay, very good. And as I mentioned, like as long as a personal experience, like I studied business administration at university, okay, and there was like, I think it was my fourth semester, yes, that I had like two stats classes. Look, the SAT, the math section, I barely passed it. Well, stats, to get the business degree was like mission impossible. But like I attended to class, I talked to my head coach. My head coach, introduced me to tutors. I also talked to my professor, and every day after practice from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. there was like extra like tutoring classes for math students that struggled. I attended to those tutoring classes with class tutoring, being with the professor. Okay, I ended up passing it. Okay, so like the resources in university, okay, are there. Okay, if you attend to class, you engage, and you put the effort, okay, they will help you. Okay, but you as a student, okay, have to want it. Okay, that's super important. Also, I myself 14 years ago went with a tennis scholarship, okay, to the US, and I was having some problems with my family back home, and I was in another continent. I think it was my third year, yes, and well, they also offered me a psychology professional that was included in my tuition, so they also help you with that. And then my last semester, I had an injury, and I didn't know if like to push it, because it was my last season, so that they also had a sports psychologist, and I worked through my last season with a sports psychologist, and I ended up competing and having great results. So like the resources in universities are there. Okay, you, as long as you put in like the hours in practice, okay, and attend to class, and all the presentations, all the exams, all the assignments, everyone is there to help you. Okay, I wanted to have that clear. Okay, guys, do you guys have any questions about balancing games and gaming goals? No. So there are some students that also say, what if I don't do that well in in competition? Will they take my scholarship? Okay, there are high chances that they take your scholarship if you don't maintain a passing GPA or the GPA that the school requires, that the esports program requires, rather than if you have like an okay season. Okay, if you have an okay season, usually the worst that can happen is that they put you as a sub. Okay, but usually if it's just because you had a bad season, like your scholarship usually doesn't get affected. Okay, it's more like focusing on maintaining that GPA and keep going to practice and keep grinding. Okay, like you'll have a better season next semester. Okay, but I tell students, like to really focus on the academics, and well, depending on what the students want, like if you want to go to the top 10 programs in the nation, okay, yes, you will need to have like more, like there are like higher standards for competitive results, and your scholarship may be affected, but there's other programs, that there's still a varsity team, okay, but your scholarship won't get affected if it's like in one semester your performance is not that great. Okay, as I mentioned, okay, usually your scholarship gets reduced because of GPA reasons. Okay, so focus on your academics. Okay, that being said, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so well, as I mentioned, to keep the scholarship or to increase the scholarship, okay, well, if you want to increase your scholarship, usually there's three main types of scholarship for international students. It's the academic scholarship, okay, so the higher your GPA, the more academic scholarship you can obtain. Okay, if you get a 4.0, you have certain scholarship 3.5, certain scholarship 3.2, 3.0. Okay, you get the thing. Also, if you're an international student, you can also, some universities do give scholarships for international students. Okay, and yeah, for performance, which are esports scholarships. Okay, if you like if you're a top competitive player, like a program will see your value and offer you more scholarship. There's also work study options for students, meaning that international students can work up to 20 hours a week, a week, yes, a week in the esports program or around campus. Okay, so basically that's other options to help them pay their day-to-day expenses. Okay, but and year by year, okay, we update, like the universities we're partnered with, we revise all the scholarships that they are eligible for, and international students do sometimes have like additional scholarships they can apply, but domestic students like have a world of scholarships that get updated on a yearly basis in their university. And trust me, if you just research the scholarships that are available, that the university offers, like you can get like thousands of dollars, a year in scholarship, but you just have to look for them, or if you work with us, we look for them. Okay. Any questions about scholarship retention, academic scholarship, esports scholarship? I see the comment section not very active. Okay. Hey, you can always DM us afterwards. Okay, like no worries about that. Okay, minimum GPA. Okay, some schools do require you a passing 2.0 GPA over 4. Okay, some schools 2.5. If you're going for a master's degree, some schools the minimum is 3.0, and you will also have to take the GMAT. Okay, some schools it's 2.0, but the esports program is like you either maintain a example 2.75 GPA, okay, to be in the esports program, or you're gonna have to if you don't maintain that GPA, either you're gonna have to be dropped off the program until you get back to that minimum GPA, or your practice and competitive hours are going to be reduced. Okay, and they do that, okay, for students to remind students that they're a student first, and then an esport player, okay, or a coach, okay. So yeah, every university has their minimum GPAs set up, and every esport, and that the minimum GPA that the university has doesn't mean that the esport program is the same. Usually, esport programs require you a higher GPA. Okay, why? Well, because also like the school administrators love to see, that esport programs also like have like high GPAs, and that means that like the students are going to class, attentive in class, and doing what they have to do. Okay, so yeah, usually sport programs like focus a lot on GPAs, and maybe competitively you're not like there compared to the varsity team. Okay, but if you have a high GPA, okay, in order to level up the GPA of the esports program, okay, they're likely to recruit you, okay, and put you in the JV team, in the development team, okay, and thanks to your GPA and how good you're in class, and eventually, like you step up, and maybe year 1 and 2 you're still in the development team, hearing the philosophy of the team, like understanding head coach, assistant coach, what they want from you, and then your junior and senior year, you're there in the varsity team. Okay, like not every student starts from year 1, from their freshman year in the varsity team. Okay, some students, need to get, basically, how it is to compete in collegiate. Okay, develop, mature a bit more as a player. Okay, and they're ready to be in the varsity team the 3rd and 4th year. Okay, don't be demotivated if you are in the JV team, because even there, okay, like you will get to travel or play online tournaments with other universities. Okay, so like you'll get a very similar experience as well. Okay. Okay, then you can't see very clearly. Again, apologies for the presentation. It's not like this, but I don't know why I uploaded like this. But yeah, so ESL, okay, is a program that is designed for international students that their level of English, like they couldn't pass that TOEFL exam or didn't pass that Duolingo exam, okay? And that doesn't mean that they cannot attend to the US, okay? ESL programs that are in universities, certain universities, students can be part of the esports program, okay, and do an intensive of English, okay? And once they pass their intensive classes of English, then they're ready to go in 6 months or 1 year, okay, and start the university courses, okay, and continue with the esports program. It might affect their eligibility, okay? Although in esports, it's not as regulated as traditional sports. So esport players don't have like, in most cases, in most conferences, like a 4-year eligibility criteria. Like there's many outside tournaments and stuff that players can go, and they don't need to be like, it can be like more than 4 years, okay? But yeah, that's something that we communicate with the families, and it's a case by case basis. Okay, but yeah, so if you're not, English is not, like you're not that advanced in English, or like have a basic English, that's not an impediment for you to study abroad. Okay, and learn English there. And yeah, what better to learn English than in an English speaking country, and that's basically how you learn English the fastest. So you go to intensive English classes, okay, and outside class you just can't speak English. The only language you speak is English. So like you learn English very fast, okay, in that sense. Okay, so when students get recruited, okay, and we represent them and negotiate scholarships with head coaches or esports directors, okay, what they usually look, apart from a CV, if they have like any other working experience or skills, it's the game ranks, okay, at their tracker, okay, and their like stats will appear. If they have a Wikipedia, most students don't, but like the top ones have, okay, like maybe their competitive experience will show there and stuff. So like that's what coaches usually look to know, like what kind of competitive level and experience they have, and if they're interested and they can make it work both for the student academically, financially, okay, and what the student is looking for, because we're very clear in what the student is looking for. And also when we talk with esports directors, we talk to the ones that can meet the requirements of the student and the family, okay. We schedule a call with them, and again have a conversation, and both the student can see if they connect with the head coach or the esports director, and the esports director can see if the student fits in the philosophy and if of the team, and if they would be a great fit for the team, because that's super important, because like a player can be super a high competitive player, but if there's not a connection between the head coach and the student, it's not going to happen, okay. But we do prepare students, okay, with questions to ask. We also prepare students on how they can sell themselves, okay, to these directors, because at the end of the day, they have to show what value like they can give to the esports program, not what like to talk about themselves. It's just okay, specific things, okay, and ask specific questions to show interest, engagement, and also to sell themselves into how they can add value to the esports program. That's how usually the esports directors give the most scholarship, okay. Okay, so up to here, any questions? I've been talking all this time for 22 minutes almost. No questions still? Okay, well, let's continue. Okay, so yeah, especially in college, okay. So usually how it works is the program will set a practice schedule, okay, and competitive schedule, like for the semester, okay. And yeah, students are required to attend to every practice, okay, and to every competition, unless they have like something urgent, or like something urgent that they can attend, but like they need to like they sign a form with the esports program, okay, that states that they will follow a specific code of conduct, okay, like behavior wise, and how they represent the program, and how they engage on social media, which sometimes students think like nobody watches them, but everyone watches everyone on social media. So like having a professional behavior, especially when for yourself, and also because you're representing that university, okay, an educational institution, is super key, okay. So yeah, and yeah, regarding as I mentioned, if if you put your effort, if you attend to practice, okay, if you do your best, okay, you may have like a semester that you're not doing that great competitively, some semesters better, okay, but if the coaches know that you're putting in the effort, okay, your scholarship will not be affected, okay, as long as you keep the GPA and attend to practice and competition, okay. But like in the US and Canada, like the day-to-day schedule, okay, is so well planned by universities, okay. Like you usually, okay, have class in the morning, some classes in the evening, okay, especially in your last years, in your junior senior year. But yeah, basically how it works is first they do the practice and competitive schedule, and then around that, okay, you can choose your classes, okay? And usually student athletes are the first students to choose classes compared to traditional students, okay? So you don't have the problem of like, oh, I want to be in this class, but it's already full, okay? So that's another great advantage that varsity teams that fall under athletics and consider the student athletes have when choosing classes. So like they have time to go to class, study, okay, do their assignments, compete, and also work on campus. And when working on campus, there's no strict, okay, like hours during the day that you have to work. Of course, like you have to, plan all your hours in advance, but like Monday you can work 1 hour, Tuesday 3 hours, okay? So it's very flexible because the university knows that you're a student, okay, and they just want to help you, financially. Of course, you have to work, but they're very flexible and understand that you have like academic and competitive requirements as well. So they're very flexible in that stance, okay? So just have in mind, okay, that if you put effort both in your academics and in esports, like universities have all the resources to help you if you need help, okay? But you need to want the help, okay? Like if you don't attend to class, if you don't attend to practice and are like all around the place except focused on what really matters, you're not gonna last very long, okay? So it's so if you put in the effort, I mean, the university will help you, okay? Especially international students like that sometimes go from one continent to the other, okay? They usually take it very serious because they went all this they traveled all this hours into the US or Canada. Like they're not there to mess around, okay? They're there to get their studies, okay, and have an amazing experience, because like who doesn't like to continue their higher education and compete and keep developing their gaming skills. Like it's an amazing experience. Okay, super important, and that's something that usually in calls, okay, they do the esports leaders or head coaches do pick up, and they do it on purpose. Like they ask quick question is like, how coachable is a student, okay? Because you can be the best, okay, but if you think you know everything, okay, and you portray this attitude of like, yeah, I know everything, I'm the best, coaches will be very well. That is a no-brainer to be like, I don't think you're a great fit, okay? So no matter your level, okay, we also communicate with the students when we prepare them for the calls with the directors or the head coaches, that you need, you either humble, either, I mean, you have to show that you're humble and coachable. Those are the two main things that you have to show to the coach. The coach is already interested in you because he or she saw your tracker, stats, experience, academic profile, what you want to study. Yeah, you're a great fit, but they want to know you. Like, what energy do you transmit? Okay, so as long as you transmit that you're humble and coachable, okay, like they don't only fixate you as a player in the present moment. Okay, they're figuring out, like how they can develop you in the next 4 years in your whole bachelor degree, okay? And the next 4 years, that's they are playing the long-term game, okay? So if you think you are the best, even if you are, but you think you're the best and you know everything, that usually is for every sport program, okay? So coachable and humble is what coaches are looking for in students, okay? Super important to have that coachability and being humble, okay? Okay, so here you can see it much, but like it's super important, okay? As a step one, to review your GPA and gaming stats, okay? We do that for you, especially if you're an international student and GPA is not how you measure your grades. We take care of the translation and conversion of grades. Okay, but super important to know that. Okay, when we have to talk to the coaches for you. Okay, and I can't see clearly in this presentation, but it's okay. Okay, guys, we've been already 30 minutes. Okay, do you guys have any questions that I could answer before I leave? I mean, guys, I'm live here, so if you want to take advantage of my time, just shoot me any questions. I'm very happy to answer. Okay. Okay, guys, if you guys are shy, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and just shoot me a DM or reach out to our X company profile, okay, or my X, okay, account. Very happy to, answer any questions or hop upon in a video call, okay? Guys, have a great morning or evening if you're in Europe, okay? And I'll see you in the next weekly call. Next weekly call, I'm gonna go with one. I'm gonna invite one of our partners, okay? And we're gonna talk about a bit like the Rocket League scene. So it's gonna be an interesting one, okay? See you guys next week.